I'm Justin Bushey. Jesus Christ was a remedy to my broken life.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
This is my testimony. It all started before I was even born, with my parents having a one-night stand. I was born 9 months later. It was out of drunkenness. They got drunk and they got together, and they had me. Didn't see my dad after that ever until I was 22. My mom, she never really had a good husband growing up. I had a couple of stepfathers. I was beat as a child. My first stepdad used to beat me with a PVC pipe. Then as I grew up, I got even older. My mom got a new husband, my new stepdad, and he didn't like us, didn't care for us at all. And so what happened was me and my sister would come home from school in the mornings or in the afternoon, and we would be sitting there crying on the way coming home, and we'd be thinking about, what we were going to get beat for today. My mom grew us up in church, so we had a good background there, but that didn't stop our decisions. When I was 16 years old, I decided that I was going to stop going to church. I could drive. What was the use of going to church? There was no need for that. God wasn't no good to me, not at the time. So I decided that I was going to not go to church anymore. And when I turned 16 as well, I just, got diabetes, type 1. My sugar was 1,300. And I was told I was a walking miracle then. And my life just continued to be a downward spiral. I got into drugs. I started off with a little bit of drinking. Then I got into smoking a little bit of weed. Then I got hooked on cocaine. And from there, every drug became there was no stopping me. I was going to do them all. One day I overdosed on cocaine, and at the same time I went into a diabetic coma. My life just continued to spiral downward and downward. Satan had his grips on me. At night I would sit there and lay in the bed, and as I would lay in the bed, I would hear Satan or demons talking to me, saying, "You're worthless, you're useless, your life means nothing, just go ahead and die, overdose, kill yourself." During the time period of all the drugs and alcohol, me and Kristen, who is my wife now, who I met her at school. We started dating, and everything seemed to go well, but still I'm lost. My life's in a wreck, and I'm still living in sin. Kristen, seeing me going through drugs, become a very highly addicted to cocaine. I'm giving my paycheck. I owe drug dealers for 2 and 3 weeks in advance. I'm going up to crack houses, and everything is fair game. I mean, whether it's crack, whether it's cocaine, everything becomes fair game. And my life is just spiraling downward and downward. And even when I was in the coma, my life was still a wreck. I mean, even more of a wreck. And it still didn't change me. And me and Kristen, we eventually moved in together. I was living with her and her mother. And her mom got invited to church one day, and she asked Kristen if she'd go. Well, Kristen said, "Yeah, I'll go with you, Mom." And she asked me, she said, "Will you go?" And I said, "No, I really don't want to go." And she asked me a few more times, and I said, "Yeah, I'll go." So the first church service I ever went to, since I was 16, I didn't want to even be there. I didn't care what the preacher was saying. I walked out, went back home. I got drunk, could care less. Well, then we got invited again. But this time when we got invited, Kristen invited me again and said, "Will you go back with me again?" And I was like, "I really don't want to." She's like, "Please just go for me." So I went with her. And as we went, still nothing was going on. Still my life, I could care less. I'm going to go home and go get drunk. That's all I could think about. What I didn't know is Lord Jesus Christ was working in my heart. So the next time, the third time we got invited, we walked in, we sat down, preacher was preaching. He gave the invitation that morning. When he gave the invitation, before I could ever get up, Jesus Christ had already got a hold of my heart and convicted me of my sin. Before I could leave the seat, I knew good and well I was saved. I went and ran to that altar, gave my life over to Christ. Kristen there, arm in arm with me, giving her life to Christ. Today, we stand here and we can look back on the past, but Jesus Christ is where we're at. It's all because of Jesus Christ. And we have Bentley, our youngest son now. We have Bella, who's going to be here in just a few days. And we have Brianna, who's already in heaven. And we have forward to look to see her soon. I've told you all this today not to give myself glory, but to give Jesus Christ the glory. He is the remedy of my broken life and continues to be the remedy for. He can be the remedy for your broken life today too as well.